Hello. It's been a rough few months for me. I went through some trials and tribulations. Nothing really notable. Like, I mean, my life is great on the outside, but on the inside, it can be kind of like a mess. And I'm just here to share some wisdom for everyone. Um, a few weeks ago, I had to go to a crisis center because my, I guess, inner world or my emotional world was very unstable, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like panicking. I kept thinking I had to go to the hospital, and I was like, well, you can't smoke nicotine in a hospital. You can't drink caffeine in a hospital. And I was like, yeah, that's not the best idea. Plus, it's like, it's always hell when you go to a psych ward or whatever. I didn't like lash out at anyone. I kept pretty a good demeanor, composure. But what it seemed like was that I was going through like death or like a transformation. And so after I went to the crisis center, I talked to her about my life, and she said, well, it looks like you're doing all the right things. And it looks like your life looks good, but I forgot what the therapist lady told me to do, but she just basically told me to try to calm down. And so when I got home, I kind of assessed what was going on and trying to remember what I learned over these past few months. And what I realized was that my nervous system was in shock from, doing all this inner work, like shadow work, trauma healing, stuff like that. And, I just felt like I was being like matured, but I didn't like the feeling. I didn't want to sit with it. It seemed like it would never go away. It kind of had this lingering effect on me. And so what I did was I researched like nervous system healing, and I saw that there are a bunch of things that I could do to heal my nervous system. So I like to share that with you. There's a whole list of things. I'm just going to go through real quick. Okay, so you know how you have a sternum, or like right underneath your chest in the center, there's this part of your stomach where like if you were to punch that part, you would be out of breath, or that's like the weak spot of your chest, and where there's like no padding or anything. If you were to put it like an ice bag over that spot, it'll heal your vagus nerve. It'll activate it, and what that'll do is just like you will have deeper breaths, and your nervous system will heal. Do that for about 20 minutes, and preferably like laying down on your bed or couch or whatever. The next thing I would like to say is box breathing. People like to talk about like other breath work, but I think this is the best because it's very stable, it's calm, it's rhythmic. It's sort of like meditating, but I mean, it's got like this feminine energy around it. And what you do is you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold it again for 4 seconds, and that completes the cycle. I will put a link in the description of a 10-minute box breathing session. And it's better to do it along with like a guided session for it because, counting can be kind of hard. Another one is somatic shaking. And what somatic means is like your body and your nervous system. So like, I'll put a link in the description for you. But what you do is kind of like you shake around like an animal, and it releases all the tension in your legs, your abdomen, your shoulders, even your scalp, like your head. And like I did this actually the most along with box breathing. And it got old after a while because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna stand up for 10 minutes and shake my body. That's ridiculous. But like if you're really going through it, like you're really frustrated and you want that energy to release, then somatic shaking is definitely what you need. And you can even do it with somebody else in your house, like as a quick little, warm up to your day. I didn't do that, but I definitely did it alone in my room for like a week straight. And yeah, I really like that idea that if you shake your body, it kind of like releases the trauma in your muscles and stuff. So and you can do all these sort of like whenever you want, whenever you feel like it. I would say going on walks is definitely good. I know it's like really cold outside right now, but what walking does is like it keeps your body in motion, and when you're moving, it gets your blood flowing. Your emotions are kind of like more stable, and you're just locked in, and you're more in your domain. So what walking does is like, I would say walk for 30 minutes a day, if not more. Go on a 30-minute walk that's like a mile and a half, and I would do it without music, so that way you can like connect more with yourself and God. And it's not really about releasing, but it's more about like becoming more mindful of where you are and what needs to come next. And trust me, if you walk more than 30 minutes a day, like you're doing the work you need to be doing. Like you're figuring out your life, like, instead of just worrying about everything, you go on a walk and it's like all your worries are gone. And that might seem boring on the outside. You're someone who's quiet, and you kind of like don't project yourself on anyone else, and it's like hard to talk about anything because nothing seems real or authentic. But that's also what I've been going through, according to my last video, like about authenticity and all that nonsense. But you really need to like get used to the pain that comes with being authentic, and integrate the sadness, make it sort of like your home, because this world is not made for us, and it can be hard to relate to people, so you have to try to relate to yourself. And this also comes with like becoming more self-aware and stuff, and how that brings like side effects of depression and stuff like that. But the more you walk, the more better you'll feel in the end, and just make it consistent. It's best to just like walk as soon as the sun rises, and especially on like a nice like spring day or fall day. Just make sure you're not cold, like you got gloves and a scarf and a hat or something. But if you can't do that, then go to a gym and walk on a treadmill which is not as fun, but you'll still get the benefits of walking. I would say try to find like an escape that's healthy. For me, I like listening to like uh, like Explosions in the Sky. The what's it called, post rock. So like instrumental music is really good for like getting in tune with your nervous system and realizing like that it's all like temporary. Like every bit of like chaos in your inner world or like pain you have is all temporary. And when you're listening to like pop music and stuff like that, you can kind of like feel forced to have a certain attitude or feel forced to like be happy, and that can be kind of discouraging. So I would advise you to listen to some instrumental music like lo-fi hip hop or Explosions in the Sky, like I said, and get connected with like the rhythm of the guitar and like and the atmosphere of it. Um, on good days, just try to have fun. I know it's hard when you have a job, but like if you don't have a job, then try to like be creative or get in touch with your child self, your inner child, and just play around with things. Don't take life too seriously. It's like a big no when your inner world is going through chaos. Like, yeah, you can analyze things, but just don't make it your whole personality. Or if you're struggling with something, ask for help. But if you're struggling about like the small fish in the pond, then you're never gonna be grateful for what you have. And that's my next thing, is like, be grateful. Thank God when you wake up, and thank him for your bed that allows you to rest and recover from yesterday. Thank him for your house, which keeps you warm and secure. And if you have a car, thank God for your car that gets you around, and that it's reliable. And they always thank him for your family too. That's like my number one thing. So when you pray, like, and for gratitude, it's very healing. And sometimes, like, right after you pray, or even during your prayer, like, you may cry or start to laugh, and that's just your body releasing all the worries from your life. So give your worries to God as well. Peter explained that pretty well when he said, cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. And don't just say, like, I cast all my anxiety on you. Just be like, I'm worried that, these people think of me negatively. So I would like to not worry about that. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm trying to think of something else, but I would say if you're going through a rough time of your life, to definitely journal or do some sort of creative art that reminds you later when you're looking at it, like, what you went through, something relatable to other people that you can show them as sort of like a totem. And what this does is, like, it blends like past, present, and future together, to where you're making memories, but you're like also expressing yourself. And what that does is, like, it's beautiful. It creates like a sense of beauty through your struggles. So I've definitely been making music and making videos and journaling and stuff like that, to get me through these trials. Of course, you could read the Bible, or do some philosophy, or I would say like church is something that I don't necessarily advise going to when you're in trials, because like sometimes you can like disagree with the sermon, or it's just not for you and it's coming at the wrong time. So like, as someone who's very like disciplined, I hate it when other people tell me what to do or what to think about when I'm going through like my own troubles and need like more specific guidance. So just look up sermons that have to do with what you're going through, like healing or trust, or whatever. And yeah, that's all I gotta really say about that. And laying in bed, laying in bed is probably like the only thing I've been doing for these past few months that feels just right. It's sort of like, just like knowing I'm comfortable, and creates like an equilibrium for me to where I don't have to like actually show up for the world. And that's fine. Like, this culture is so like hustle culture where, they're telling you to, like, if you're not getting out of bed in the morning, then you got to get yourself together. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, but I am together. It's just that I need to do this. And, it's like a boundary. So if anyone's telling you get out of bed because the world won't stop for you, like, that's just wrong. So try to come at it in a positive way to help people know you're just recovering. And if that's really what you're trying to do, if you're sober and you're trying to recover from weed and alcohol, and you just want to lay in bed all day, then tell people that, like, establish that boundary so that you're able to not be bothered when you are like trying to just rest. And that's huge too. Like, if you're on your sober journey, then my condolences. I know it's really hard. I'm on my 5th month right now, and it's great, but it's just like there's a lot of peace that just seems impossible to attain. So yes, I do smoke nicotine, I vape, and I drink a lot of coffee. But I mean, everyone has their own vice, right? There's also, actually, I forgot, there's one last thing I want to tell you guys about. There's this eye practice, kind of like, I forgot what they call that. It's like, starts with an E, I think, where you just basically, you lean back in your chair or your bed, you put your hands behind your head as if you're like being arrested, and you're not being arrested, but you're just chilling, like you're chilling. And you put your head like center, and you turn your eyes, both of them, to the left for 90 seconds. Then you stabilize it in the middle, again, looking forward. And then you turn it to the right for 90 seconds. I'll add the link in the description, but after I did this, like, my neck was just like so like calm, and my neck could like actually like turn without feeling any tension, and I just felt like there's this overall peace to me and whatnot. So, well, this is a 20-minute video, and I hope you guys got everything. If you need any more help, don't be afraid to comment, like, and subscribe.